Hello dear students of the third secondary stage and welcome to a new lesson. Today we're going to deal with revision 1 based on chapters 1, 2 and 3, lesson 5, Great Expectations, chapters 1 to 3. Answer the following questions. Number 1. Who does Pip live with? بيعيش مع مين Pip? Yes, bravo. Mrs. Joe and Joe Gargree, his sister and her husband. طيب. What happens in the graveyard in the opening chapter? اللي حصل في الجريفيارد في المكان اللي بتدفن فيه الناس في الشابتر الافتتاحي أو في الفصل الافتتاحي. Pip meets an escaped convict who makes him promise to bring him food and a file. طبعا احنا عارفين file بمعنى مبرد هنا. Number 3. Why do soldiers visit Pip's house on Christmas Day? ليه؟ Yes, to get some handcuffs mended عشان يصلحوا الهاندكافز. Why have very few people seen Miss Havisham? Because she hasn't left her house. Number 5. What was Miss Havisham wearing when Pip met her for the first time? Her old wedding dress. Number 6. What did Stella give to Pip before he left the house? She gave him some food. Number 7. What happened between Pip and the fair-haired boy in Miss Havisham's house? They fought and Pip won. خانقوا واللي فاز Pip. 8. Why did Orlick get angry with Joe? ليه Orlick كان غضبان من Joe? Joe gave Pip an afternoon off to see Miss Havisham, but he didn't get any time off. Pip أخذ afternoon off أجازة أو راحة وقت الظهيرة لكن عشان يشوف طبعا Miss Havisham لكن he اللي هو Orlick didn't get any time off. خدش أي وقت راحة. بعدين بيقول لي complete the sentences about chapters 1 to 3 with the correct words from the box. مديني مجموعة من الكلمات apprenticeship, argument, bride, convict, blacksmith, gloomy, handcuffs, leg irons, stir. Number 1. An escaped space asked Pip to get him some food and a fire. escape دي ايه؟ أكيد escape the convict. صح. Yes, bravo. And escape the convict. The convict had ايه؟ attached to his ankles. اللي كان مربوط في الانكلز اللي هو كحل القدم. ايه يا ترى؟ يا ترى handcuffs؟ لا ده في الايدين. ولا leg irons؟ طبعا leg irons. Number 3. Joe mended some space for the soldiers. جو صلح ايه للجنود؟ صلح لهم ايه يا ترى؟ yes bravo handcuffs اللي هي الايه الاغلال بتاعت الايدي حاجات اللي بتتكبل الايدين. When Pip met Miss Havisham she was dressed as كانت لابسه كايه؟ كعروسه bride. yes bravo bride. ناخد بالنا من bride و pride بالبي pride اللي هو الفخر بالبي لكن bride اللي قدامنا دي معنى عروسة. Number 5. Pip worked hard so he could become a عامل بجد عشان يبقى ايه يا ترى؟ عشان يبقى blacksmith. حدد. Number 6. Pip realized that the strange man in the inn وين بنى فندق صغير أو حانة لشرب الخمر knew about the convicts because he was using the blacksmith's file that Pip had given to the convict to space his tea. طبعا to stir his tea عشان يقلب الشاي. stir يقلب سائل. Number 7. Miss Havisham and Stella lived in a very space house. طبعا house في المنزل إن هو gloomy كئيب. Number 8. Pip began an space as a blacksmith with Joe. بدأ إيه يا ترى؟ بدأ apprenticeship. Bravo. Number 9. Orlick and Mrs. Joe had a big أيوة كان بينهم إيه big إيه؟ أكيد خناقة كبيرة. big fight ولا big argument؟ اللي موجودة عندنا big argument يعني جدال كبير. هناخد big argument. بعدين بيقول لنا read the sentences and choose the best answer from A, B or C according to the text in chapters 1, 2 and 3. Number 1. 5 of Pip's brothers and sisters. 5 من إخوات بيب للولاد والبنات. يا ترى had died when Pip was very young ولا lived with Pip ولا lived in the same village؟ طبعا الإجابة they had died when Pip was very young. Number 2. On Christmas morning, Pip went back to the graveyard. ليه؟ To visit his parents' graves ولا to take the escaped convict some food ولا to help the escaped convict take off the leg irons. طبعا الإجابة to take the escaped convict some food. Number 3. The soldiers came to Pip's house. ليه؟ Because they knew Pip had seen the escaped convicts ولا to see if the escaped convicts were hiding in the house ولا to get some handcuffs fixed. طبعا الإجابة yes, bravo, to get some handcuffs fixed. Number 4 بيقول لنا on the marshes a fight took place between ما بين مين ومين؟ 2 escaped convicts ولا Joe and the soldiers ولا the soldiers and the escaped convicts؟ طبعا الإجابة between 2 escaped convicts. Number 5. Joe wasn't happy that Pip didn't have any friends ولا Pip didn't like Mrs. Joe ولا Mrs. Joe was unkind to Pip. طبعا الإجابة because Mrs. Joe was unkind to Pip. Number 6. Stella made Pip sad because she wouldn't play with him ولا she wouldn't hand him the food and drink ولا Stella was crying. طبعا the answer is because she wouldn't hand him the food and drink. Number 7. Pip thought the large dark-haired man visiting Miss Havisham was a relative ولا a doctor ولا a neighbor. طبعا the answer is yes, bravo, a doctor. Number 8. When Pip grew up a little, he wanted to be an apprentice ولا to improve his position in life ولا to earn a lot of money. طبعا الإجابة to improve his position in life. Number 9. Joe was angry about Pip taking an afternoon's holiday ولا didn't mind Pip taking an afternoon off work ولا let Orlick have an afternoon off work as well. So the correct answer is yes, letter B, didn't mind Pip taking an afternoon off work. بعدين بيقول لنا do you agree with the following statements about the characters in Great Expectations? Find examples from chapters 1, 2 and 3 to support your opinions. أول question معانا بيقول لنا Mrs. Joe wasn't very loving towards Pip. طبعا هنقول in chapter 1 Pip says Mrs. Joe liked to complain about me, and in chapter 2 Joe tells Pip that he wishes Mrs. Joe wouldn't hit Pip. Right. Number 2. Joe was a kind and understanding man. In chapter 1, Pip says, Joe is my friend, and neither of them want to find the convicts when they are with the soldiers. In chapter 2, Joe speaks kindly to the convict when he said that he stole the pie. Number 3 بيقول لنا Miss Havisham is a strange unhappy woman. طبعا في chapter 2 we learn that Miss Havisham never leaves her house. Pip meets her and she is wearing an old wedding dress. In chapter 3 Miss Havisham shows Pip her wedding cake in a room that's covered in spiders' webs and mice. This is all strange. Number 4. Pip has a powerful conscience. Conscience اللي هو ضمير يعني. Pip عنده ضمير يعني إيه حي يعني. In chapter 1, Pip felt guilty for taking the food and the file. He wanted to tell Joe, but he was afraid that Joe might not want to be his friend anymore. Number 5. Stella is cold and cruel. In chapter 2, Stella is very rude to Pip. When she first meets him, Stella smiles when her unkind behavior makes Pip cry. Now, dear students, we have come to the end of this lesson. Wishing good luck and bye-bye.